The intensity surrounding Jake Paul's decision to face Anthony Joshua has transformed into a full-blown spectacle that feels less like a boxing match and more like a test of fate. As analysts, fans, former champions, and veteran commentators weigh in, the pressure surrounding this fight grows heavier by the day. Some see it as a once-in-a-lifetime chance for Paul to cement himself in the world of professional boxing. Others see it as a disaster waiting to happen, a dangerous collision course that exposes how far hype can push an athlete toward a mountain he may never be prepared to climb. And in the middle of it all, Joe Rogan stands as one of the clearest, loudest voices, sounding the alarm long before the gloves touch the canvas. His warning is not based on hate or dismissiveness, but on decades of understanding what it means to be hit by real heavyweight power. To him, this is more than a mismatch. It is a fight that could redefine, or possibly end, the trajectory of Jake Paul's evolving boxing career, as Rogan lays it out. Stepping into the ring with a heavyweight like Joshua is not merely ambitious, it is a leap from a rooftop with no guarantee that the landing will be soft. Joshua's precision, timing, and reputation for violent knockouts extend far beyond highlight reels. He embodies a level of physical force that separates men who box recreationally from those who have walked through fire at the pinnacle of the heavyweight division. Rogan's concern rests on the idea that Paul, despite his rapid improvement and undeniable athletic discipline, has not faced anyone with such devastating capabilities. Whatever skill Paul has showcased against past opponents, none of them carried the kind of raw heavyweight power that Joshua wields with frightening efficiency. Rogan makes it clear that Paul may not fully understand the storm he is inviting into his life, and if he insists on proceeding, he may need far more than confidence and conditioning to survive it. Dana White, never timid in expressing his views, added fuel to this growing blaze of criticism. His reaction was less technical and more visceral, the response of a promoter who has seen too many mismatches end in disaster. To White, the matchup defies logic, professionalism, and even common sense. He sees it as an unnecessary risk for Paul and a pointless exercise for Joshua, a scenario where both men have more to lose than gain. The fans, however, see something entirely different. They see spectacle, drama, and the possibility of witnessing a moment where the unexpected becomes reality. This is the thrill that keeps combat sports alive, and it is the same thrill that makes promoters lean in closer. Watching the possibility of a massive payday form in real time, Tommy Fury, who knows Paul better than most, has turned the situation into an opportunity for amusement and warning. While laughing at the absurdity of it all, he still reminds the world that Paul struggled against him even while he was injured. If Paul had difficulty with Tommy, what could he realistically expect from a man like Joshua, who has dismantled some of the most dangerous talents of his generation? And with each voice joining the chorus, the narrative grows more intense. Some fighters ridicule the matchup, others express genuine fear for Paul's safety, and a select few view it as a necessary trial that could prove him worthy of the future he is carving out for himself. But nearly all agree on one thing: the danger is real, and it is not something that talent, youth, or ambition can simply erase. Carl Froch, a man whose bluntness is as legendary as his right hand, dismissed the fight as an embarrassment to the sport. To him, Paul has overestimated the reach of his fame and underestimated the gravity of the heavyweight division. Froch frames it as delusion, masquerading as courage, the kind of delusion that gets men seriously hurt. Amir Khan echoes this sentiment, adding his own warnings based on years of experience facing world-class punchers. Khan insists that size matters, power matters, and the gap between Paul and Joshua is not one that can be crossed by bold statements or viral promotion. He views the fight as so unbalanced that he questions whether it should even be sanctioned. Meanwhile, Jake Paul continues to walk forward with unshaken conviction, painting the fight as another milestone in his ongoing quest to prove the world wrong. His team positions the matchup as a carefully calculated risk, not a reckless leap. According to Nikisa Badarian, Joshua poses dangers, yes, but also opportunities. Joshua is powerful, yet methodical, a fighter whose size slows him down and creates openings. In their view, Paul may fare better against a heavyweight with a more traditional style than he would against a smaller, faster fighter with elite precision. From this angle, the decision to fight Joshua becomes less about spectacle and more about strategy. It becomes an attempt to engineer a career-defining moment that could elevate Paul into a different tier of legitimacy. But there is something deeper, a clash not just between fighters, but between worlds. On one side stands Anthony Joshua, the embodiment of traditional boxing excellence, shaped by Olympic discipline and years of fighting top-tier opponents. On the other side stands Jake Paul, a disruptor who has built a career by defying expectations and rewriting the rules of what a boxer can be. Their collision symbolizes the tension between old and new, legacy and popularity, craft and charisma. It is the kind of matchup that forces the sport to confront its own evolution, while also reminding everyone that boxing, for all its theatrics, still carries the weight of real danger. Even veteran promoters like Frank Warren acknowledge the complexity. He sees Paul as a dedicated student of the sport, someone who has earned more respect than critics give him. Warren admits that Paul has the ability to surprise people and that Joshua, with all his accolades, is not invincible. Yet, he also recognizes that Joshua's power cannot be underestimated and that one clean punch could end everything. As for analysts, the consensus remains the same. Paul is facing risks unlike anything he has experienced. His stamina, technique, defense, and awareness will all be tested. There will be no room for hesitation, no space for error. And as the fight draws nearer, the world watches with anticipation, curiosity, and fear. Now the question hangs heavy in the air. Is Jake Paul stepping into history or stepping into disaster? Is this the fight that elevates him into a new stratosphere of the sport? Or is it the moment that sends his career into a violent downward spiral? While fans debate and experts warn, only one truth remains certain. On December 19th, the world will witness a collision unlike anything boxing has seen in years. Two men, two worlds, one ring. What do you think? Is Jake Paul making the boldest move of his career or the biggest mistake of his life? Can he survive the power of Anthony Joshua, or will this fight expose the limits of his ambition? Share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more deep dive breakdowns, dramatic boxing stories, and all the latest updates from the world of combat sports.